The story of Hanukkah. Over 2,000 years ago, a king named Antiochus IV Epiphanes controlled Israel. Antiochus was powerful and ruthless. He wanted all of the people under his rule to abandon their own religious practices to follow the customs of Greek culture. King Antiochus denied Jews the right to observe Shabbat, Jewish holidays, Jewish dietary laws, and other important Jewish rituals. It became dangerous for people to even identify themselves as Jewish. On the king's orders, Greek altars and idols were erected in Jewish communities. Soldiers demanded that Jews offer animal sacrifices to worship Zeus and other Greek gods. They asked prominent members of the community to renounce the Jewish dietary laws. Some Jews adopted Greek culture and religion. They changed their names to make them sound more Greek than Jewish. They stopped studying Torah and observing the Sabbath. But other Jews did not give up their heritage and religion. When asked to eat pork or worship idols, they refused. This had severe consequences. Many Jews died rather than give up the right to worship as they chose. Strong resistance rose up in the countryside, particularly in Modi'in, a town west of Jerusalem, where a priest named Mattathias lived with his 5 sons. Mattathias was well respected. The king's soldiers wanted him to be the first to step forward and show loyalty to King Antiochus. Mattathias answered loudly and clearly. He would not worship idols or forsake his faith. With his sons by his side, Mattathias fled to the mountains to organize a revolt against King Antiochus. Already an old man, Mattathias did not live to see the success of his rebellion. When he died, he turned over his leadership to his son, Judah. Judah's bold fighting style earned him the nickname Maccabee, meaning hammer. Judah, his brothers, and growing band of followers waged war against Antiochus. They were called the Maccabees, and they found success through night raids and sneak attacks. Their courage fighting a large and well-equipped army inspired Jews all over the country. In one famous battle, the Maccabees even faced soldiers riding trained war elephants. In 164 BCE, after 3 years of fighting, the Maccabees gained control of the temple in Jerusalem. This was as much a spiritual victory as a military one. Now the Jews could rededicate their most sacred house of worship. The temple and its grounds were in terrible condition. The sanctuary was filthy. Ornate doors had been burned. The golden menorah that once burned with 7 branches of continuous torchlight was gone. The Maccabees tore their clothing as a sign of mourning. They wailed and wept. Then they got to work. First, they scrubbed the temple from top to bottom. They pulled weeds and made repairs. They also replaced the ceremonial items that had been stolen from the sanctuary. Some sources say the Maccabees made a makeshift menorah from iron spears. Others say a gold 7-branched lamp was created during the time they built a new altar. On the 25th of the Hebrew month of Kislev, the new menorah was lit, and the temple was rededicated. In Hebrew, the word Hanukkah means dedication. The very first Hanukkah lasted 8 days, just like the fall harvest holiday of Sukkot. During wartime, the Maccabees couldn't take a week to observe Sukkot properly, so they celebrated for 8 days during the rededication of the temple. This is the historical view of the first Hanukkah holiday. However, rabbinic tradition gives another reason for the 8-day celebration. A popular legend says the Maccabees needed oil to light the menorah. They searched the temple. All they found was one small cruse of sealed purified oil. only enough to last one day. Instead of delaying their ceremony for 8 days until more oil could be obtained, the Maccabees lit the menorah anyway. Miraculously, the small amount of oil burned for 8 full days. This legend, known as the miracle of the oil, encourages us to remember a triumph of faith along with a military conquest. When we light Hanukkah candles, we are celebrating religious freedom. We are sharing a belief that determined individuals can successfully fight for justice. Hanukkah is also called the Festival of Lights. May the light of freedom always burn brightly in our homes and in our hearts.